Today I'm going to talk to you about the fall of the Kingdom of Italy. Vittorio Emanuele III was a monarch from 1900, a critical and disastrous period for the Kingdom of Italy. Giovanni Gioliti's coalition governments between 1892 and 1921 faced the backlash from earlier authoritarian governments of Crispi, such as price inflation. Gioliti ran a much more tolerant government and addressed both social and labour reforms, male voting rights, industrialisation, infrastructure, and began to face the enormous amounts of state debt. Giovanni Gioliti dragged foreign policy away from Germany and Austro-Hungary and towards instead the Triple Entente, which was France, Great Britain and Russia. Early Italian governments faced hostility from the Catholic Church. They were quick to limit the role of the Church and confiscated church property. To learn more about La Bella Italia, consider subscribing. In 1911, Italy began to expand as a Mediterranean power into Libya, Tripolitania, Fezzan and Cyrenaica, all parts of the disintegrating Ottoman Empire. Germany and Austro-Hungary were angry with the invasion of Libya as they wanted closer relations with the Ottomans. The French were wary of Italy after the Franco-Prussian War, and the UK was concerned. Victor Emanuel III saw this expansionist policy as a completion of the Risorgimento. Italy remained neutral at the outset of World War I. France and the UK had promised Italy parts of the Austrian-Hungary Empire. This was known as the London Pact of 1915. Italy hoped World War I would unite the new nation of Italy. The general hard-pressed population of Italy saw absolutely no benefit in World War I. They wanted food, education, work and economic development. A number of them were keen to emigrate. Farmers from rural areas were forced to enlist for the army, were poorly trained, poorly equipped and sent to fight in lands they'd never seen. World War I proved devastating in both human and economic terms for Italy, with Sicily particularly hard hit. US President Woodrow Wilson rejected the London Pact concerning Italy as being contrary to the concept of self-determination, dashing Italian ambitions towards Fiume and Dalmatia. Trieste and Trentino Alto Adige were annexed to Italy to Austria's long-term fury. Benito Mussolini became Prime Minister from 1924, and he quickly ensured the Fascist Party had an absolute majority. Resentment over failure to deliver on the London Pact festered. An overall sense of injustice was used by Mussolini and Gabriele D'Annunzio to further their political ambitions. Foreign policy ambitions was to restore the glory of the old Roman Empire and control over Mare Nostrum, the Mediterranean, reclaiming Croatia, Malta, Corfu, Ticino in Switzerland, Corsica and Nice in France. D'Annunzio planned to create the Free State of Fiume, now Rijeka, between 1920 and 1924. Benito Mussolini finally repaired the tattered relations with the Vatican with the Lateran Pacts of 1929. This treaty recognised the Vatican City as an independent state. It substantially compensated the Catholic Church for the loss of their territory of the Papal States. Mussolini appointed Cesare Mori to take on the Sicilian Mafia. Mori used draconian tactics to clamp down on the criminal activity of Cosa Nostra and arrested high-ranking bosses, including Vito Casciofero. leaders of the Cosa Nostra were emigrating to USA to avoid capture. A complex relationship endures between the Cosa Nostra and politicians. One wants influence and the other wants votes. Mori's extreme measures in pursuing organised crime, such as siege and property confiscation, only intensified the local mistrust towards the state. The situation was further complicated as known mafia suspects were also known members of political parties. Mori did weaken the mafia, but did not defeat it. Mussolini's fascist government pursued the annexation of Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somaliland. Italy was subject to a lot of international criticism and signed the Pact of Steel with Germany and Japan in 1939. Fascist Italy was one of the Axis powers in World War II. During this time, the Kingdom of Italy gained further territory in Slovenia, Albania, Greece, Corsica, Provence, Monaco, Tunisia, Kosovo, Montenegro, and Croatia. These gains did not survive the end of World War II. Gian Galeazzo Ciano was a diplomat and politician in the governments of his father-in-law, Benito Mussolini. As Italy suffered defeats, Ciano pushed for Italy's exit from the war, and for which he was dismissed from the government. The subsequent Allied landings in Sicily in July 1943 led to the fall of the fascist regime. In July 1943, Ciano conspired to force Mussolini's arrest. He attempted to flee with his family, but was arrested and handed over to the Italian Social Republic. This was a German puppet state. The Italian Social Republic triggered further civil war with the Italian guerrillas and the Allies. Ciano faced the Verona show trial in January 1944, after which he and 4 co-conspirators were killed by firing squads on the banks of the Adige River in Verona. Mussolini was arrested near Lake Como and executed in 1945. After World War II, Yugoslavia annexed parts of modern-day Croatia, triggering the Istrian-Dalmatian exodus between 1943 and 1960. Life under the constitutional monarchy of the Kingdom of Italy had been devastating for the general population since the Risorgimento. The monarchy had supported governments who championed disastrous expansionist campaigns, entered wars which damaged Italy, and monarchs accepted fascist governments. The quality of life of the Italian population remained poor, the economy listed, and the ideals of the Risorgimento were not met. Italian majority populations were seen as abandoned. A desperate King Victor Emanuel III abdicated in favour of his son as a last-ditch attempt to avoid a referendum on the monarchy. In 1946, long-standing public dissatisfaction forced a further institutional referendum to convert the Kingdom of Italy into an Italian republic. King Umberto II was the last king of Italy. He reigned for only a month. He was deposed as the Italians voted to become a republic. This is what Garibaldi and Mazzini had wanted all along.